The morning started like any other in the Terran Command Center on Luna Base. Admiral Kim Dae-ho was reviewing patrol reports when the communication array suddenly blazed to life. Every screen in the facility flickered, and an alien face appeared on the main display. The creature was tall with blue-gray skin that seemed to shift like liquid metal. Its eyes were large and completely black, and when it spoke, its voice carried the weight of absolute authority. "Greetings, humans of Earth. I am Commander Zalthek of the Stellar Dominion. We have been watching your species for some time now." Kim felt his blood run cold. First contact protocols had always been theoretical until this moment. Around him, technicians froze at their stations, and the usual hum of activity fell silent. "Your kind has spread to 47 worlds in the past 2 centuries. The alien continued. "This expansion ends now. The Dominion Council has decided that humanity poses a threat to galactic stability." Captain Lee So-young, standing beside Kim, whispered, "Urgently, sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the outer system. Multiple contacts, size unknown." The alien seemed to hear her somehow. "Yes, our fleets are already in position. We could have eliminated your species without warning, but the Dominion believes in mercy. Therefore, you will be given a choice." Kim stepped forward, his voice steady despite the fear gripping his chest. "What choice?" "Humanity will abandon all worlds except Earth and 3 colony worlds of our choosing. Your military will be disbanded. Your ships will be surrendered. You will accept Dominion oversight of your government and population control measures. You have 30 of your days to comply." The transmission flickered, showing glimpses of massive ships hovering in the darkness beyond Pluto. Each vessel was easily 10 times larger than humanity's largest battleships. "And if we refuse?" Kim asked, though he already knew the answer. "Then, your species will be relocated by force to reservation worlds where you can cause no further harm. The choice is yours, but the outcome is not. Humanity's time as a free species is over." The alien's image vanished, leaving the command center in stunned silence. General Park Min-soo was the first to speak. "How many ships, Captain Lee?" Lee's hands shook as she read her instruments. 12 fleets, sir. Conservative estimate is over 300 vessels. Their smallest ships are larger than our dreadnoughts." Dr. Yoon Ji-woo, the base's chief scientist, studied the energy readings. "Admiral, their technology is centuries ahead of ours. These readings suggest they're using controlled antimatter reactions for basic propulsion. We're not just outgunned, we're outclassed." Kim stared at the tactical display showing red contacts throughout the solar system. "They've been watching us for years, maybe decades. They know exactly how many ships we have, where our bases are located, everything." "Sir," Communications Officer Ryu Sung-ho called out, "we're receiving priority transmissions from Earth, Mars, Colony, and the outer settlements. They're all reporting the same thing. Alien ships in their systems, but maintaining distance." The Admiral walked to the main viewport, looking out at the stars that no longer seemed friendly. "They're not attacking because they don't need to. They've already won." Captain Lee joined him. "What are your orders, sir?" Kim was quiet for a long moment. "Send a message to Earth Command. Tell President Choi we need an emergency session of the Defense Council. And Lee, activate Protocol 7. "Sir, Protocol 7 is—" "I know what it is, do it." As Lee moved to carry out the order, Dr. Yoon approached the Admiral. "Sir, with respect, Protocol 7 was designed for a different kind of war. Against these aliens, our conventional forces are useless." Kim turned to face the scientist. "Who said anything about conventional warfare?" Over the next hour, messages flowed between Luna Base and Earth. The alien ultimatum was transmitted to every human world, causing panic in some places and grim determination in others. But in the deepest levels of military command, other conversations were taking place. "Admiral," General Park said quietly, "the deep space monitoring stations are reporting something interesting. The alien fleets are maintaining specific formations, like they're following established patterns. Meaning, they're not expecting resistance, they think we'll surrender." Kim looked at the star charts showing human space. 47 worlds spread across hundreds of light years. Maybe that's exactly what we should let them think. Captain Lee returned with a secured data pad. Sir, Protocol 7 assets are responding. All deep space installations are going dark on schedule. The civilian evacuation transports are being redirected to the backup colonies. And the Silence Project? Dr. Kang confirms the equipment is ready for deployment. The aliens won't even know what hit them. Kim studied the alien ships on the display. They hung in space like sleeping giants, confident in their superiority. They made one mistake. They assumed we'd fight them the way they fight, ship to ship, fleet to fleet, like gentlemen. And we won't? Park asked. The Admiral's expression was grim. General, when a species faces extinction, it doesn't fight fair. It fights to survive. And humans have been fighting to survive since we first walked upright. The countdown to humanity's response had begun, and the aliens had no idea what they had awakened. Deep in the asteroid belt, Colonel Nam Tae-min floated through the corridors of Base Whisper, a facility that officially did not exist. The asteroid had been hollowed out over 20 years ago, part of humanity's secret preparation for this exact moment. Dr. Kang, show me what we have, Nam said as he entered the main laboratory. Dr. Kang Yunji looked up from a device that hummed with strange energy. Colonel, the quantum isolation generators are ready. When we activate them, entire star systems will go completely silent. No communications in or out. Nam studied the machine. It was smaller than he expected, about the size of a refrigerator, but the readings on the displays showed incredible power. How does it work? Simple concept, complex execution. The aliens use quantum entanglement for instant communication across the galaxy. This device breaks those connections. Imagine trying to talk on a phone when someone cuts all the wires, and they can't fix it? Kang smiled grimly. Not easily. They would need to physically travel to each affected system to restore communications. That takes time, and time is what we need. Nam activated his communicator. Captain Seo, what's the status on the tunnel drives? Captain Seo Dongwook's voice crackled through the speaker from the testing bay. Successful test number 47, sir. We can move entire fleets instantly to anywhere in the galaxy. The aliens will never see us coming. The tunnel drive technology had been humanity's greatest secret. While the aliens had faster ships, humans had learned to fold space itself. A ship could enter a quantum tunnel on one side of the galaxy and emerge on the other side within minutes. Nam floated to the observation window overlooking the construction bays. Hundreds of workers moved like ants, building ships that looked nothing like traditional human vessels. These were built for stealth and speed, not direct combat. How many ships are ready? He asked. 2,000 stealth fighters, 500 tunnel frigates, and 50 isolation field deployers, Seo replied. Not enough to fight their fleets directly, but enough to hit them where they don't expect it. On Earth, in a bunker beneath the Swiss Alps, President Choi Hyun-woo met with his top advisors. The room was filled with screens showing the alien fleets positioned throughout human space. Status report, Choi said simply. Defense Minister Han, Bora spoke first. Sir, civilian evacuation is 60% complete. All non-essential personnel are being moved to the deep colonies beyond the rim. The aliens don't know those worlds exist. And our military assets? Admiral Kim's plan is working. We've made it look like we're preparing for surrender. Our main fleets are powering down and broadcasting distress signals. Meanwhile, our real forces are moving to hidden positions. General Park Min-soo added, Sir, we've activated every sleeper agent we have in alien space. Agent Lim has been working undercover in their territory for 3 years. She's sending us their complete tactical data. The president studied a holographic display showing the alien command structure. They really don't think we're a threat, do they? No, sir. Their communications are completely unencrypted. They're treating this like a police action, not a war. Meanwhile, billions of light years away, Agent Lim Hanul worked quietly in a Dominion supply depot. Her human appearance was hidden by advanced disguise technology, making her look like one of the many alien species that served the Dominion. She uploaded another data packet to her hidden transmitter. Fleet movements, supply routes, command codes, weapon specifications. The aliens were so confident in their superiority that they barely bothered with security. Lim to base, she whispered into her communicator. Package delivered. The Dominion has no idea what's coming. Back on Luna Base, Admiral Kim watched the final preparations. The alien deadline was only 5 days away, but humanity was almost ready. Admiral, Captain Lee approached with a data pad. We've identified the alien command ship. It's holding position beyond Pluto, coordinating the entire operation. Kim studied the readings. The ship was massive, easily 100 times larger than anything humans had built. Can we reach it? With the tunnel drives, yes, sir, but it's heavily defended. We won't need to fight it. We just need to get close enough to deliver our message. Dr. Yoon joined them, looking exhausted from days of constant work. Sir, the isolation field generators are loaded onto the stealth ships. Once we activate them, the aliens will be cut off from their empire. They'll be fighting blind. Kim nodded. And our people? Are they ready? Sir, every human in the military knows what's at stake. They're not just fighting for territory anymore. They're fighting for the right to exist as a free species. The Admiral looked out at the stars, knowing that alien ships lurked in the darkness. The aliens made one critical mistake. They assumed we would fight them on their terms, using their rules. And we won't? Lee asked. Kim's expression was cold. Captain, when someone threatens to destroy your entire species, you don't fight fair. You fight to win. And humans have been learning to win impossible fights since we first picked up sticks and stones. The countdown continued. In 5 days, the aliens would learn what happened when you cornered the most adaptable species in the galaxy. The 30th day arrived with an eerie calm that stretched across human space. On Luna Base, Admiral Kim Dae-ho stood before the quantum transmitter, knowing that his next words would determine the fate of humanity. Behind him, the command center buzzed with quiet activity as officers prepared for what everyone knew was coming. Open the channel, Kim ordered. The main screen flickered to life, showing Commander Zalthek aboard his massive flagship. The alien's liquid metal skin seemed to ripple with satisfaction as he gazed down at the human admiral. Admiral Kim, Zalthek's voice carried the tone of someone addressing a disobedient child. Your 30 days have expired. I trust you are prepared to announce humanity's surrender? Kim looked directly into the alien's black eyes. Commander, I am prepared to give you our answer. Excellent. Begin the power-down sequence for your military vessels. Our transport ships will arrive within the hour to begin relocations. I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding, Kim said calmly. We decline your offer. The silence stretched for several heartbeats. Zalthek's expression shifted from satisfaction to confusion to something approaching anger. You decline? Admiral, perhaps you do not understand the situation. We have 12 fleets surrounding your worlds. Your largest ships are toys compared to our smallest fighters. We understand perfectly. Kim stepped closer to the camera. But perhaps you don't understand us. Captain Lee So-young activated a secondary transmission, and data began streaming across the alien screens. Fleet positions, supply routes, command codes, defensive patterns. Everything the Dominion thought was secret. Zalthek's skin went completely still. This is impossible. Our security networks are impenetrable to primitive species. Are they? Kim asked quietly. Agent Lim, please identify yourself. On the alien's bridge, a maintenance worker suddenly straightened and removed her disguise. Projector. Agent Lim Hanul stood revealed, her human features clear for all to see. I've been aboard your flagship for 6 months, Commander, she said in perfect Dominion standard. Humans have been inside your networks for 3 years. We know everything. The alien commander's composure cracked completely. Guards, seize her! But Lim was already moving, disappearing into the ship's maintenance shafts with practiced ease. Her voice came through the communication system one last time. Good luck, Commander. You're going to need it. Back on Luna Base, Kim continued his message. Commander Zalthek, your empire spans 1,000 worlds. but it's built on the assumption that inferior species will always surrender. You've never faced a species that refused to accept defeat. Your defiance is meaningless, Zalthek snarled. We will crush your fleets and drag your people to the reservation worlds in chains. What fleets? Kim asked. On cue, every human military vessel in the solar system powered down completely. To alien sensors, it looked like humanity had just surrendered. But Kim knew better. Those weren't the real fleets. You see? Your people are already accepting reality, Zalthek said, his confidence returning. Kim smiled coldly. Those are decoy ships, Commander. Automated drones designed to look like our real vessels. Our actual fleets are somewhere else entirely. Where? In your territory. The alien's screen suddenly filled with alerts as his communications officer called out in panic. Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the core systems. Ships are appearing everywhere. Kim watched the alien's growing panic with satisfaction. 3 years ago, we realized we could never match your technology, so we decided to change the rules of the game. What are you doing to our worlds? Zalthek demanded. Nothing permanent. We're simply installing some equipment that will make communication difficult for a while. Your people are perfectly safe, but they're going to be very, very quiet. On the alien's bridge, more reports came flooding in. Sir, we've lost contact with the hegemony sector. All quantum links are dead. The crystal worlds are going dark. The Void Runner fleets aren't responding. Kim continued his explanation as chaos erupted around the alien commander. You built your empire on instant communication and rapid response. But what happens when those advantages disappear? When your fleets can't coordinate, when your worlds can't call for help? Dr. Kang Yunji's voice came through Kim's earpiece. Isolation fields are active across 47 Dominion systems, sir. Their empire is now completely fragmented. Zalthek's screen flickered as his own ship's systems began to malfunction. What have you done? We've given you the same choice you gave us, Kim replied. You can withdraw to your core worlds and leave other species alone, or you can try to fight a war where you can't talk to your own fleets. This is impossible. No species has ever resisted the Dominion. That's because you've never tried to enslave humans before. Kim's voice hardened. We spent our entire history fighting impossible odds. We survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and disasters that would have destroyed other species. We learned to adapt, to think differently, to find solutions where none existed. The alien commander's ship shuddered as isolation fields began affecting its systems. You cannot win this war? We're not trying to win a war, Commander. We're trying to end one before it starts. Kim looked directly at the alien. Your empire is falling apart right now. Your member species are cut off from Central Command. Some of them are probably wondering if they need the Dominion at all. Zalthek's transmission began to break up as the isolation fields reached his flagship. This is not over, human. Yes, it is, Kim said quietly. You just don't know it yet. The screen went black, leaving the command center in silence. The war had begun, but it would be fought in shadows and silence, exactly as humanity had planned. 3 months had passed since the isolation fields activated, and Commander Zalthek stood on his flagship's bridge, staring at star charts that no longer made sense. Red zones marked areas where entire sectors had gone completely silent, not destroyed, but simply gone from all communication. Status report, he demanded, his liquid metal skin showing the stress patterns that meant exhaustion among his species. Sir, we've lost contact with 63 worlds, his communications officer reported. The hegemony, Crystal Collective, and Void Runner territories are all dark. We can't even send messages to our own fleets. Zalthek studied the tactical display. His mighty armada, which had seemed unstoppable just months ago, was now scattered across space, chasing shadows. Are our worlds under attack? We don't know, sir. Every time we send ships to investigate the dark zones, they disappear. They enter the isolation fields and we never hear from them again. The alien commander felt something he had never experienced before. Fear, not of death, but of the unknown. His empire had controlled the galaxy for thousands of years through superior technology and instant communication. Now both advantages were gone. "Sir," another officer called out, "we're detecting energy signatures in the Arcturus sector. It could be human ships. Pursue them. Full fleet acceleration." But when the Dominion ships arrived at the coordinates, they found nothing but empty space. The energy signatures had vanished as if they had never existed. Meanwhile, in a hidden base deep in the Horsehead Nebula, Admiral Kim Dae-ho received reports from human strike teams across the galaxy. The command center was built inside a hollowed-out asteroid, invisible to alien sensors. "Admiral," Captain Seo Dong-wook reported via quantum tunnel communication, "Dominion Fleet 7 is burning fuel at 3 times normal rate. They're searching every system in their sector." "Let them search," Kim replied calmly. "How are our isolation field generators holding up?" "Perfectly, sir. The aliens are trying to break through using brute force, but it's like trying to break a spider web with a hammer. They just make more pieces." Dr. Kang Yoon-ji looked up from her monitoring station. "Admiral, we're detecting massive energy expenditures throughout Dominion space. They're running their ships at maximum power constantly, trying to break our communications blackout. Will it work? Eventually, maybe, but it's costing them everything. Their fuel supplies are running low, their crews are exhausted, and some of their member species are starting to ask questions." Colonel Nam Taemin's voice came through the secure channel from another strike team. "Sir, we've intercepted alien communications. The Crystal Collective is demanding to know why the Dominion can't protect them. The Void Runners are talking about declaring independence." Kim smiled grimly. "Phase 3 is working perfectly. The Empire is tearing itself apart from the inside." What the aliens didn't understand was that humans weren't fighting a traditional war. They weren't trying to conquer territory or destroy fleets. They were attacking the very foundation of Dominion power, the ability to coordinate and communicate. Agent Lim Hanul, now operating from a captured Dominion supply station, sent another intelligence update. "Admiral, the aliens are abandoning their outer territories. They're pulling back to defend their core worlds, but they can't coordinate the retreat. Some fleets are moving to the wrong positions." "Any sign they're adapting to our tactics?" "No, sir. They keep expecting us to fight them ship to ship. They're setting up battle formations in empty space, waiting for attacks that never come." Back on Zalthek's flagship, the situation grew more desperate by the day. His officers reported fuel shortages, equipment failures, and growing unrest among the alien crews. "Sir," his tactical officer announced, "we've detected human ships near the Rigel system. A full squadron. Finally, set course immediately. All ships, prepare for battle." But when the Dominion fleet arrived at Rigel, they found only automated decoys broadcasting false signals. The real human ships were already gone, having completed their mission of planting more isolation field generators. "They're making fools of us," Zaltek snarled. "We have the most powerful fleet in the galaxy and we're chasing ghosts. Sir, perhaps we should consider negotiation," his second-in-command suggested carefully. "Negotiation? With primitives who refuse to accept their place in the galaxy? Sir, with respect, these primitives have just cut our empire in half. Maybe they're not as primitive as we thought." On Earth, President Choi Hyun-woo monitored the situation from his secure bunker. The planet appeared completely abandoned to alien sensors, but underground facilities hummed with activity. "How long can we maintain this strategy?" he asked Admiral Kim during their daily briefing. "As long as necessary, sir. We're not fighting to conquer the Dominion, we're fighting to exhaust them. Every day they spend searching for us is a day their empire grows weaker." "And our people?" "Morale is high, sir. They know they're not just fighting for territory. They're fighting for the right to exist as a free species." Dr. Yoon Ji-woo joined the conversation. "Mr. President, our deep space monitors show Dominion fleets are starting to break up. Some ships are returning to their home worlds without orders. The Empire is fracturing," Kim observed. "When the isolation fields finally come down, they'll find a galaxy that no longer fears them." The silent war continued, with humanity's enemies, burning their resources, fighting an enemy that refused to stand still long enough to be defeated. 6 months after the first isolation field activated, the galaxy began to wake up from its enforced silence. On the former Dominion capital world of Zephyros Prime, Admiral Kim Dae-ho walked through corridors that had once echoed with the commands of galactic overlords. Now they hosted something entirely different. The first galactic assembly of free worlds. The Great Hall buzzed with nervous energy as representatives from dozens of species took their seats. Many of these beings had never spoken to each other as equals before. For centuries, all communication had flowed through Dominion channels, with the central government controlling every interaction. Commander Zalthek entered the hall with what remained of his dignity. His liquid metal skin had lost its shimmer, and his once proud bearing was bent with defeat. He approached the central podium where Kim waited. Admiral Kim, Zalthek's voice carried none of its former authority. The remaining Dominion forces formally request terms. Kim nodded respectfully. The Terran Federation is prepared to discuss the future of this galaxy. What are your demands? Zalthek asked, clearly expecting the worst. The same thing we asked for 6 months ago. The right to exist as free beings, to trade peacefully, and to participate in galactic affairs as equals. The alien commander's black eyes showed confusion. That's all? You don't want tribute? Territorial concessions? Our surrender? What would we do with an empire? Kim asked simply. We never wanted to rule anyone. We just wanted to be left alone to grow and develop in peace. A new voice spoke from the assembly floor. It belonged to Representative Mordain of the Crystal Worlds, one of the first species to break away during the Silent War. Humans of Terra, what guarantee do we have that you won't become new masters? You have proven you can destroy any fleet, silence any world. Dr. Kang Yunji stepped forward from the human delegation. Because we're going home. Our people want to return to Earth, to rebuild what we abandoned during the war. We never sought an empire. President Choi Hyun-woo's hologram materialized in the center of the hall. Distinguished representatives, the Terran Federation proposes a new charter for galactic civilization. No species may be compelled to relocate, surrender their independence, or submit to foreign rule. All members participate with equal voice and equal vote. Another representative, this one from the Void Runner clans, raised a clawed hand. How do we know this isn't another form of control? Your isolation technology could silence us again at any time. Kim had expected this question. Because we're sharing it freely with everyone. The hall erupted in surprised chatter. Even Zalthek looked stunned. You're giving away your greatest weapon? The alien commander asked. It was never meant to be a weapon, Kim replied. It was meant to be a guarantee. When every species can defend itself from unwanted communication interference, no one can use information control to build an empire. Captain Lee So-young activated a holographic display showing technical specifications. The isolation field generators are being installed on every world that requests them, free of charge, with full technical support. Over the following days, the new galactic cooperative took shape. It was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, a loose alliance based on mutual respect rather than domination. The former Dominion territory was restructured into independent sectors, each governing itself according to its own values and needs. Some worlds chose to remain isolated, developing their cultures without outside interference. Others formed trading, partnerships, or research alliances. A few even asked for human technical assistance in rebuilding their war-damaged infrastructure. Zalthek found himself in the strange position of representing not a conquered empire, but simply another member. World. Admiral Kim, I must ask, why show mercy to us? We would have enslaved your entire species. Kim considered the question carefully. Because enslaving others didn't make you evil, Commander. It made you afraid. You built an empire because you thought it was the only way to be safe in a dangerous galaxy. And now? Now you know there's another way. When everyone is free to choose their own path, no one needs to fear their neighbors. Agent Lim Ha-Newell, now serving as humanity's first galactic ambassador, presented the final charter to the Assembly. The Galactic Cooperative Charter guarantees 3 basic rights: the right to self-determination, the right to peaceful development, and the right to participate in galactic affairs as equals. The vote was unanimous. As the assembly concluded, Kim stood on the observation deck of the space station, watching ships from dozens of worlds departing in peace. Many flew in formations that would have been impossible under the old system. Former enemies traveling together, sharing star charts and trade routes. Colonel Nam Tae-min joined him at the viewport. "Sir, do you think it will last?" Kim watched a small human transport ship join a convoy of Crystal World vessels heading toward the Galactic Rim. "It will last as long as people remember that freedom is something you protect, not something you take from others." Dr. Yoon approached with a final report. "Admiral, the last isolation field generator has been deactivated. Every world in the galaxy can communicate freely again." "And humanity?" "Going home, sir. The deep colonies are being abandoned, and our people are returning to Earth and the original settlements. We're tired of hiding in the shadows." The galaxy had learned a simple but profound lesson. The strongest species wasn't necessarily the one with the biggest guns or the fastest ships. Sometimes it was the one that refused to give up its freedom no matter the odds.